With more than 1,000 kilometres of picturesque coastline, the Mediterranean island of Corsica is one of the most idyllic places in France. But when the World Rally Championship comes to town, rural life is shattered as the best drivers on the planet hit average speeds of over 100 kilometres an hour along the perilous mountain roads. It's known as the Rally of 10,000 corners, and the tricky, twisty stages will punish any careless driving. As Ford driver Danny Sola found out when he misjudged one of the many corners. And there was no getting back on the road from there. There was bad news too for Marcus Gronholm. The Finn was trying to help Peugeot win the Manufacturers' Championship before his move to Ford, but his retirement with transmission problems leaves the team's hopes rapidly fading. There's always time for a consolation drink with the local fans, though. It's also been a frustrating weekend for Mitsubishi. Centre differential problems leaves their leading nominated driver Harry Rovanpera down in 11th. Things are looking up though for Skoda. The Czech team's tarmac expert Alex Benge is impressing on his home event, running 7th coming into the final day. François Duval proved his potential here last year, coming close to claiming his maiden victory before engine problems ended his challenge. He's been right on the pace again this season and was up to 2nd before brake failure saw him slip to 5th.
Yes, it's no brakes, 15 kilometers before the start, no brakes, only the handbrakes. It's difficult some many moments. Bad luck.
The fight back has already begun though. He's back in 4th by the end of leg 2. Petter Solberg had set his sights on a podium finish before the event, and he's on course to do exactly that, despite the odd distraction along the way. And it's been a good performance too from Tony Gardemeister. He's under pressure to hold onto his seat with Ford after the signing of Gronholm, and is reminding the team of his ability. He's in 2nd place. But there's been little he or anyone else can do about the runaway leader, Sébastien Loeb. The newly crowned world champion is on course to make a clean sweep of stage wins as he seeks to win his home event for the first time. Loeb's dominance is clear to see with one look at the leaderboard after the first 2 legs. Behind him, his teammate Duval has just under 25 seconds to make up to get back on the podium at the expense of Solberg. The Rallye de France is based in Corsica's capital city, Ajaccio, with the stages winding their way around the surrounding mountains. Another 4 to come on the final day, with 95 kilometres of action ahead. It's an early start for the teams and crews as they make their final preparations. François Duval's Citroën Zara is back in full working order, and he has a real chance to make some progress on this final morning.
François, how far up the field can you get today?
Yes, I continue on the same rhythm. If I finish 4, it's really good for Citroën for the championships. I don't know, the first stage is completely new for everybody. Maybe I come back with Petter.
Do you think there's any chance you might be able to catch Petter Solberg or even Tony Gardemeister?
Tony Gardemeister is impossible. I try to pass Petter Solberg.
Teammate Sébastien Loeb is on course for another personal landmark in this record-breaking season by winning every stage in a rally.
No one has ever won every stage to win a World Rally. Is that another record you're going to break today?
I don't know. I don't think it's not my main target. If I will try to keep a good rhythm, to feel well in the car, and then we will see, but it's not the most important.
Cheers.
Well, the world champion seems as focused as ever. And after signing a quick autograph, the time for talking is over as Sébastien Loeb heads off to the first stage. No sign of rain again on day 2, and the first test this morning is the shortest of the rally at just under 16 kilometres. So, has François Duval got enough in reserve to make up some of the time he lost yesterday? Victor Solberg, of course, still has second place in the championship to fight for. He's currently 6 points behind Gronholm, which is exactly what he'll get for the final podium place.
Early 2 right minus damp. Opens 30. 4 right plus
The Norwegian appears to be much happier with the Impreza recently, and even on tarmac, a surface on which the car sometimes struggles, he's looked very competitive.
Short 5 left plus of a crest into 6 right plus opens of a crest. 20 short 3 right minus tightens. Damp.
Duval, though, is at his most effective on these abrasive, twisty mountain roads.
Gauche à fond aux plaques, 25, gauche 120, pas bosselé, et frein 25, piège de l'eau gauche passante ouvre, 25 piège de l'eau gauche passante ouvre, droite 80 ouvre, élargir, au frein piège.
He's approaching the first split, so we can get an early indication of his pace this morning. 3 minutes and 14 seconds after 5.2 kilometers. This is a strong start from the Belgian. He's currently out of a job, of course, with the Citroën team leaving the sport at the end of the year, so another podium finish would be a welcome addition to his CV. And here comes Solberg now. He has a 25-second lead coming into this stage, but he could lose that over these final 4 stages. And look at that, he's already 1.6 seconds slower. Duval's definitely making an impression on Solberg's advantage, and he's right on the limit here. Great commitments from Citroën's number 2. Oh, he's got that corner all wrong though. He's back on 4 wheels and is still moving, but he'll be very lucky if there's nothing wrong after that. He's definitely struggling. And just look at the Zara there. A lot of cosmetic damage and the whole car looks off balance. He's heavily damaged his suspension too. How frustrating for the Belgian. He's struggling through the stage, but is losing a lot of time. Let's take another look at that roll. Duval was approaching that bend far too quickly. And with the wrong line approaching the corner, he clipped the bank on the inside, and that was enough to flip the car over. After such a consistent run recently, those costly errors have returned. Well, with Duval limping to the end of the stage, suddenly Solberg's job of holding on to third has become a lot more straightforward.
Keep in, and 3 right half long, tightens early neat, keep in, just 6 left plus, opens 14, tightens 4 plus half long, keep in.
And there is the Belgian. Well, if he didn't know about his rival's problems before, he certainly does now. The Subaru driver gets past and can ease off the pace now with his position much more secure. Duval's made it to the end of the stage, but with 32 kilometers ahead on the next test, it's not looking good for the Citroën driver.
Francois, can you tell us what happened?
A roll.
Well, Duval, the master of the understatement there, but Citroën, of course, do have another car competing in the shape of world champion Sébastien Loeb. He's already on to a record-breaking run of 8 victories this season and looks set to add 1 more to that tally here. And guess what? He's the fastest on stage once again. The best of the rest on this stage behind Loeb is Stéphane Sarrazin. The Frenchman is back up to 4th following Duval's roll, but is still half a minute behind Solberg. And it's another top 5 stage time for Skoda's Alex Bengay, who continues to display the Fabius potential. He remains 6th. The Frenchman's been involved in a battle for most of the weekend with Spaniard Chevy Ponce. The Citroën driver's just 8.8 seconds behind after stage 9. Peugeot stand-in Nicola Bernardi has steadily improved this weekend in his first rally in the 307. He's still 10th, but closing on Gigi Gali. Francois Duval lost 2.5 minutes crawling through the stage following his roll and has dropped to 8th. Solberg can breathe a sigh of relief, and all overs behind move up a place. Bernardi's now just 20 seconds behind Gali, but he's already on course to score a manufacturer's point for Peugeot. Francois Duval is in trouble. We'll check on his progress after the break. Welcome back to Corsica, where Citroën driver Francois Duval is in a race against time to repair his car before the next stage. He sustained suspension damage after that roll earlier. There's only so much the driver and co-driver can do, though, with their small toolkit, and their efforts are in vain. It's the end of the rally for Duval.
Francois, at the end of the first stage of the day, you said you'd rolled. You've done about 7 Ks on the road section. You've parked up. Is it finished?
Yeah, sure, it's finished. The car is too much destroyed. I prefer I take one new car for Spain. And the car is quite bad. I prefer I stop here.
He was not really in a good condition, physical condition, because he's a little bit sick. He was a little bit sick this morning, but I asked him to drive not slowly, but to drive not too fast, and to keep the car on the road and to make sure to scoring point for the manufacturer. But it's like this.
What's your personal sentiment behind it? Because earlier in the year you had some problems with the young man, and now he seems to have thrown the car off at a time when it's crucial to get the Manufacturers' Championship.
It's a young driver, and for sure we had some problem with Francois at the beginning of the season, but with his comeback from some rallies, it was much better with the team, with him, and with the result also. And then we need to wait for Catalonia, and I hope that we will have a good result for Catalonia.
Do you feel Francois still has more to learn as a driver? He has to listen more to people like you a bit?
Probably.
Duval's retirement serves as a reminder how easily the Tour de Corse can catch you out, and there's still 3 more stages to come. Gigi Ghali's the leading Mitsubishi driver and is now up to 8th after Duval's retirement. Unfortunately for the team, though, he's not been nominated to score manufacturer's points. Alex Bengay is on target to score Skoda's best result of the season. Colin McRae finished 7th at the Wales Rally GB, but the Frenchman is looking to go one better on his own home event. The Fabia is looking very competitive on tarmac, and with the 5th fastest time on stage 10, Bengay is now closing on the 5th position of Roman Cresta. This, though, would also be the best finish for Roman, since he joined the 4 team at the start of the year. The Czech driver too is a specialist on tarmac, and like so many others is still trying to secure employment for next season. He's 9 seconds slower than Bengay, though, and the gap between them is now down to just 20.6 seconds with 2 more stages remaining. Using virtual spectator technology, we can see that it was intelligent driving from Bengay that gave him the advantage here. This is the longest stage of the day, and Cresta pushed hard from the start to gain an advantage, but on the demanding downhill and twisty run to the finish, Cresta's tyres had overheated from his early pace. Bengay, in contrast, could still attack to the finish after conserving his tyres earlier in the stage. Stefan Sarrazin can equal his best ever finish if he can hold on to 4th. With nearly 2 minutes in hand on Cresta, the Frenchman should have a calmer run than others to the finish line. Sarrazin actually beat his current teammate in Spain last season, but Solberg has got the upper hand this weekend. The Subarus have often struggled on dry tarmac with their Pirelli tyres, so the Norwegian and the team will be much happier with the Impreza's performance here. Solberg continues to keep a good pace on this final day. He's third fastest on stage 10 and keeps his teammate at arm's length. The Ford Focus was victorious in Corsica last year, with Marco Martin taking his first tarmac win. Tony Gardemeister may have been unable to repeat that performance, but his third second-place finish of the season would still be a good result. This is also the penultimate rally for the car before the new 2006 model gets an early debut in Australia. The Finn is second fastest on this stage. No prizes for guessing who's claimed top spots yet again, though. A clean sweep of stage wins has never been achieved in the modern era, but that is exactly what Sebastian Loeb is on course to do. The Frenchman has a lead of 1 minute and 39 seconds, and most positions in the top 8 now look reasonably secure, although the Pons-Bengay battle for 7th looks set to go down to the wire. So, job nearly done for Loeb. One final tyre decision to make, while the mechanics check that nothing's come loose on the Citroën. It's 100 rallies for the Ford Focus, and a podium position beckons for Tony Gardemeister, but hopes of winning are a distant dream.
I think it has been quite impossible for everybody, but because Sebastian was very confident, he was pushing flat, he wanted to win this rally, and I think it was very difficult.
Just 2 more stages to go here in Corsica, and it's back to the 16 kilometres of Acqua Doria next. Nicola Bernardi is continuing his pursuit of Gigi Gali in 8th. The Frenchman finished second in the junior WRC last season. This is only his third outing in an international rally this year, so his steady approach is understandable. And his pace is definitely improving. He's second fastest on this stage and now just 6.4 seconds behind Gali. This has also been the best performance of the season from Chevy Ponce. Another graduate of the JWRC, the Spaniard has also taken part in the Production Championship, winning 4 rallies in that category over the last 2 seasons. 7th place would be his best finish in a WRC car, and with the 4th fastest time here, he's putting pressure on Alex Bengay. The Skoda driver, though, has excelled in his 4th attempt at his home event. With the team yet to finalise their plans for next season, another points finish would be a welcome result as 2005 draws to a close.
Rail léger tard, droite 65 plus pince. Rail léger tard, droite 65 plus pince.
He's nearly a second slower than Ponce, but is still over 12 seconds ahead with 1 stage remaining.
I had to slow down close to the end because my tires were a bit too warm, so I have to keep it for the next.
And Roman Cresta also hasn't yet secured his own position. It's the 100th rally for the Ford Focus, and with the Czech driver backing up Tony Gardemeister in 5th, this would be a satisfactory points return on this anniversary.
Váže pravá 100. Brzda pravá jedna za horizont a 4 dlouhé.
Cresta is slower than Bengay, but still has a 15-second advantage. Tony Gardemeister, meanwhile, continues in his increasingly vain pursuit of Sebastian Loeb. He's finished on the podium 3 times this season, but that first win remains elusive for the 30-year-old Finn, and he'll have to wait and see if he's done enough this year to earn a seat with Ford for next season. Tony is third fastest on stage 11. It might seems strange that Sebastian Loeb continues to drive flat out with the rally in the bag, but it's simply the best way the world champion has of keeping his concentration and rhythm. The Frenchman keeps up his 100% fastest time record on stage 11, but behind the battles for 5th and 6th could still change on the final test. The conclusion to the Rallye de France coming up after the break. Welcome back to Corsica, where just one stage remains on this year's Rallye de France. Nicola Bernardi's times have dramatically improved since the start of the rally. The Frenchman's 3rd fastest on the final stage and moves up to 8th to score his first driver's point and 2 for the team.
I'm really happy because I started rally 10 years ago and with Peugeot and the French Federation, and now I'm here with them in the French rally. I'm really happy.
A great drive too from compatriot Alex Bengay. 6th place is his best ever finish and equals the best result for the Skoda Fabia. Petter Solberg is heading for his first podium on tarmac since Corsica 2003. Oh, but the final stage starts with a stall. He's got moving. He did complain of a slow gear change in stage 11, and that launch control problem may be related. Even so, he's still set to finish 3rd. Before the start of the rally, Subaru were looking for a podium, and that's exactly what Solberg's achieved here in France.
Bloody lucky! Bloody lucky!
Yes? What happened?
I stopped on the start line because there was something wrong with the gear change on the stage before. And my engineer said, Petter, remember to start normal, you know. Don't use the automatic start system because it's not working. Yeah, I came to the start, did everything automatic and ready, and it didn't move.
No luck needed for 2nd place Tony Gardemeister. He's in line to bring forward a strong finish on the Focus's 100th WRC entry. He's driven a brilliant event, and I'm sure that Malcolm Wilson will look positively at this result when he considers his 2nd driver for next year.
Will this help you secure a drive for next year?
I don't know, I don't think at all. We will see what the big boss thinking, but we will see.
And in front is the man who's shone throughout the event and throughout the season, the 2 times world champion Sebastian Loeb. He's won 8 rallies already this season, and it will soon be 9 out of 14. He won the World Championship with 3 rounds to go. And what a fitting end to the Rallye de France for Sebastian, with a clean sweep of 12 stage wins out of 12. Not a bad weekend at all.
I think we cannot do better. We've done the scratch in all the stages, even in the shakedown, so for me it was a perfect rally, yes.
So confirmation of Loeb's total domination of this rally, his lead building every single stage to finish the event with a winning margin of nearly 2 minutes. Gali was just beaten to the final driver's point by Bernardi, but his teammate Rovanpera scores 1 manufacturer's point for Mitsubishi.
I wanted really to win this rally. It's the first time I win it. I won a few times Germany and Monte Carlo, but this one it's the first time, and to win it by winning all the stages is a great moment for me.
The title long since wrapped up, of course, but Petter Solberg's hopes of finishing the season as runner-up have been done a power of good by his podium finish here and Marcus Grönholm's retirement. Nicola Bernardi picked up 2 points for Peugeot on the final stage to aid his team's flickering hopes in the Manufacturers' Championship. Citroën now need just 6 more points from the remaining 2 rallies to win their 3rd consecutive title. They'll hope to wrap things up in the next rally in Spain, which is at a new location on the Costa Dorada, south of Barcelona. So join us there in a few days' time as we leave Corsica with Sebastian Loeb celebrating in front of his home fans. And don't forget, all rally fans can catch up with the latest news by logging on to WRC.com.